It's one of the most unique coaching staffs in all of college basketball. Most assistant coaches are former players, but at Duke, all are former Blue Devils.
You, Wojo, Jeff Capel, obviously all played here, and Coach K has really made it a tradition to bring back former players as assistants. What is unique about doing that?
I think it really helps the kids understand that, look, I have someone who I can depend on to talk to, who's struggled and been through a lot of things that I've, have to overcome. And also to really talk to the kid about what the program means. You know, when you have worn the jersey, you can talk to about the pride and everyone who's worn it, before you, to help them, make the program what it is.
You were obviously head coach at Oklahoma and VCU. Your path a little bit different than Wojo and Nate, who started out as assistants. What is that adjustment like, going from head coach, now you're back to being assistant here?
Yeah, it's very humbling. To be honest with you, first of all, you're used to being the guy in charge, being the guy that runs everything, to now all of a sudden you have to sit. I know my first year back here, we took that trip to China. The first game we're playing over there in China, I had to just stop myself. I'm jumping up, getting ready to yell at the officials.
Calling timeouts.
Calling timeout or calling a play.
Slips it to Parker for the dunk.
The last few years, Jabari Parker, Kyrie Irving, Austin Rivers, all walk through the door. The attention those guys get, you guys are trying to build a team. Is that a distraction?
It can be, for sure, especially, if you're around guys who, want it to just be about them.
And how about the intensity from Jabari Parker on that little player huddle?
Jabari's a different kid. Jabari's a guy that hates the attention. At times, I think it's hurt him. I think it's made him kind of shy away, and maybe, as crazy as this may sound, but maybe to try to be average for a little bit so he doesn't get that attention.
We've been fortunate in that the really outstanding freshmen that we've had understand the bigger concept, that it is a team game, and why they want to excel on an individual level. They know they need to be a part of a team to win a championship.
Of all the time you spent with Coach K, what is the one thing you will take away from him as you go on and potentially at some point are a head coach?
Your work ethic and your passion for the game, it has to be at a high level. And, there's plenty of times where we come back from, games where, we could be, have lost or whatever, and we're up watching film to 3, 4 in the morning, and you're dog tired, and, you got to have that passion to say, look, I don't like this feeling. I want to get my team better, and I want to wake up the next day after only sleeping 2 hours to show my team that, look, we have to get better and improve.
You arrived here 1993-94 season. It's been 20 years. In those 20 years, and really think back to your time as a player and then now as a coach, how is Coach K different?
He yelled a lot more back then, especially at me. But you could do that. You can't do that as much anymore. Everything has to be so PC now. But I think he's so much better. Yeah. I think his experiences, specifically with USA basketball, has really helped him. I think he's a much better coach. I think he's continued to grow.
Suleiman got it.
What would Steve Wojciechowski say is the formula, 1, 2, 3 things that you need to have? You cannot win a national championship if your team doesn't have these things.
I think the players ultimately on the great teams set the tone on a day-to-day basis, the example, how hard you have to work, staying together.
Everything has to be about winning. Everyone has to be consumed with winning. You have to be incredibly tough and together. I mean, you cannot win in March if you don't have those two things.
Does this team, Duke team, have those?
Yeah, I think we do. I think if you watched us early in the season, I don't think we had that. I don't think we were a very tough team, to be honest with you, and it pains me to say it, but we weren't. And our 2 best players were our 2 least experienced players, with Jabari and Rodney, as far as experience here at Duke. And so it took it took a while for guys to learn that.
You have to make a commitment, commitment to, do your best every day, and whatever you're doing, tell yourself, look, I got to do more. And I think from here on to the last day, we got to keep grinding out and keep their juices flowing and get them to see the bigger picture, that what they do today, it truly does matter.